Hello, I'm Tina. Last video we talked about static content and dynamic content. In order for a server side to serve dynamic content, in Java, okay. Here we needed something called a servlet. Okay, which can serve dynamic content, and a servlet cannot be deployed in web server like Apache because a web server can only serve static content. So let's take a look at the architecture, how actually servlet and web container and a web server work as a whole to serve requests. Okay, it's not that deep. Okay, briefly introduce. Let's go to here. This way. Okay, go to our OneNote. Where's my pen? Here. So here we have our browser. Like Chrome. Which one do you like? I like a Chrome. Is it like this one? Chrome? Oh, Chrome. Okay. And here, this is our server side. Okay, so now suppose we do something like the one time is showing. Okay, suppose the browser make a request to do timeis.com. Okay, and in every time we request for this URL, it's gonna refresh to give us the current time. Suppose the current time is 4 p.m. 4 p.m. 50 and 51 p.m. Okay. And you refresh kind of browser, he will give you like a 4:50.60 p.m. like this, and you refresh again, it will give you another. So we can see we didn't make the change on the URL. That means the browser will form the same request to the server side, but the server side every time it give us different thing to us, right? So the HTTP request gonna goes to here. Okay, to our servers. Traditionally, the server side will have two applications running. One is called a web server. The other one is called a web container. And what are the web server container? You can just simply think they are just an application running in the laptop and keep listening for the connection come to the browser. Just an application. Later on, we will teach you how to using the socket to create a web server or web container. Okay. Help us understand actually Tomcat is doing. So web server, this one is the popular one, Apache. This one we're gonna talk about is using Tomcat. Okay, and when the HTTP request comes, it will always go through web server first. And the web server serve for what? They only serve for the static content, which is HTML, PDF, CSS, JS. Okay, those files. And this request as the behavior we describe, every time we refresh the browser, it will give us a different content, right? So the time will be changed. And for the static content, web server said, oh, I cannot do this. okay? Because the content I give to you will be static. I won't have those HTML which for every second. I don't have. So web server say, oh, I cannot handle this request, then it will pass this HTTP request to web container. Okay, web container, in last video we described, it can serve for the dynamic content. So what's inside the web container? Web container, inside it, it will have lots of servlets. Okay, servlets, okay, lots of servlets. Okay, and this HTTP request will go to the web container. Okay, web container will based on your URL and find which servlet gonna serve, okay, or handle for this request. And if it finds, suppose servlet A is to handle this one, and servlet A will return the content, and the web container will wrap. HTTP request comes, and then web container will find this servlet, right? And he will have HTTP servlet request comes to this servlet, okay? And the servlet will wrap everything in the HTTP servlet response. Okay, and the web container will know how to convert this HTTP servlet response to HTTP response. Okay, and then it will go through eventually back to the browser. Okay, so this is the servlet kind of like architecture, and our servlet is deployed on the web container. You can just think web server, web container, they are just an application is always running, not stopped, always running, keep listening for the events, just an application, okay? And we mentioned here is a servlet. Servlet, what is servlet? Servlet is just a regular Java class you write, okay? But it have a special requirements you need to do, and we will introduce in other video. And you can just think about servlet is just a regular class, and this regular class is running inside, is handled or deployed inside the web container. Okay. The servlet architecture basically is like this, and the next video we are starting, we will first set up for the environment and write our first servlet. Then we will talk more about the servlet and others. Thank you. Bye bye.